All right, at 6 o'clock, I'm going to call the meeting to order. All board members are accounted for. I'd like you to please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, I don't have any additions to the agenda. You have anything, Jeff? All right, we have a very light agenda tonight, so I will look for a motion for agenda show.
I'll move to the agenda show.
I'll second.
Luke with motion, Jolyn on the second. Any other discussion? All in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. We have no scheduled presenters tonight. We will move on to school board committee reports. Anyone have anything that they would like to share?
I was at the district advisory, and just, they kind of basically are prolonging things and moving things out because of finance reasons. Basically, the levy won't make it better, but at least make it, not make it worse. So, kind of the status there.
There's an Ed Foundation meeting the end of September, just discussing the poker social. Thank you to everyone that attended that. It was well attended, and I don't have numbers yet as far as what was brought in from that, but it was good. It was well attended, so thank you to everyone in the community for that. And then just a reminder that November 20th is Give the Max Day, so keep that on your calendar. I'll have that meeting. I was at the community ed meeting. We have a new ECFE coordinator coming, so that's exciting. They also just kind of came out with a new Old Rivers camp, which is kind of appealing to the younger elementary kiddos, basketball stuff, which we didn't do previously, so that's fun for them. The community ed is still kind of looking into the concept of wraparound care and doing more research into that, and talking with our daycares in the community. I'm just going to kind of work with that. As for Cannon Kids, it looks like they're at 172 current students, and there were 20 brand new ones that came in. So awesome on that front. Let's see what else. And then it looks like for preschoolers, we have 95 now. We took in just a couple more extra. We have 2 families on a wait list and 3 asking for information. So that's awesome as well. Currently, there's about 18 kiddos in each room at that age range, preschool level, so which is a larger number for that age. My other one, I was at the marketing meeting, which is us just kind of working with social media and trying to, reel people in, get people from the outside coming in, looking at us. In the last year, we are up 37% from last year, people clicking on us, if you will, online and social media, so that's awesome. We talked about kind of stretching our range, like our geomath, to go maybe a little farther, kind of maybe appease to some folks in Rochester. There's a lot of people that kind of they're leaving the bigger communities to come to the smaller communities, so it's beneficial for us. What's what I think?
Okay. Anything else? Thank you for that. We will move on. Consent agenda. Items under the consent agenda are considered routine and will be enacted under one motion. In the event the board member wants to discuss any item, it will be removed from the consent agenda for separate action. We only have one action item on there.
I would like to make an announcement before you guys do this. Nicolette Hernke is retiring from our district, but lucky for us, we're able to rehire her as a retired teaching staff. And so, one, thank you for your years of service, and 2, welcome back.
I have one day of retirement.
Yeah. But I just want to make sure that you guys are aware of that, I'm sure Nicolette may not be with us, maybe after this year, we don't know, we're still negotiating about that, so we'll have to see where it goes, but, thank you for your time that you put in with pictures.
I'll look for a motion to approve.
Make a motion.
I'm gonna go with Pete on the motion,
I'll second.
Rondi on the second. Any other discussion? All in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. And we're gonna move on to administrative board reports. Joanne, I meant to talk to you about this ahead of time, but I didn't do that. Could you read the student representative report from Abby, please?
I would love nothing more. Homecoming week summary. Looks like Abby's got a little summary here on it. It says homecoming took place during the second week of school and was filled with fun activities and school spirit. The week started on Sunday with Powder Puff football games. The sophomores defeated the freshmen 28-0, and the juniors beat the seniors 6-0. On Monday, the homecoming coronation was held. 8 couples were recognized, and apologize for the last name. How do we pronounce that one's last name? Capello. And James Huthseth, who were crowned homecoming king and queen. Thursday featured the senior picnic at Eastside Park, followed by a visit to elementary school pet fest, where students helped spread homecoming excitement. The week ended on Friday with more spirit-filled events. The senior boys meet both the junior boys and the teachers in powder puff and volleyball. The day wrapped up with a pep fest to bring everyone together and get everyone excited for the football game. Although the team lost, the week was full of pride and everyone had fun. It looks like there's an athletics update as well. As fall sports near the end of their season, several teams are doing well in section play. Girls tennis has finished team sections and took second place and is now competing in individual matches. Boys soccer has ended its season after a recent loss. Girls soccer earned the #1 seed and will play in the section championship on Tuesday in Austin. Volleyball and football are both doing well in their seasons and have 1 game left before starting sectionals. So Abby, good.
All right, thank you for that, and thank you to Abby for preparing that. We'll move on to elementary school report. Mr. Sherrills.
Nothing to add. A ton of time since the last one day in September to meeting on there. So nothing big. The walk to school day I had on there was fun. It was a crisp morning, but some boys showed up in shorts, so they were chilly. But it was fun. Local police department helped out with that, so thanks to them. That was successful and fun. A lot of just fun things like that.
Thank you. Mr. Hodges is not here tonight, and Reed's not either, so Mr. Johnson's not either. We're going to move right ahead to Sue's report.
Yes. Besides the action items in there, I do have some progress listed on the SUP goals from earlier in the year, and those are as written there. If you guys have any questions about that for the performance goals. Timeline for review of the mid-year, I believe, is when? Is that February? February, yep. So we'll do, as we normally do, the mid-year review in February, but those are some action items that we've been working on since the beginning of this school year. So, other than that, unless you have questions, that's all I got.
Questions for Jeff? All right, we'll move on to public input. If anyone would like to speak to the board, we will close public input. Action items, new business. Consideration to approve a humanities trip to Italy, June of 2027. Venice, Florence, Assisi, and Rome, with towns in between. Students must successfully complete the humanities course to participate. This is offered to juniors and seniors, and the chaperones are Nicolette Herndee and Holly Winget, who have been traveling with students abroad since 2008. Nicolette, would you like to share about this trip?
Sure. As you read, I've been traveling with kids since 2008. This trip has happened way before I was here. Mr. Cato and Mr. Fogarty, and actually Mrs. Taylor anyhow, it's been, tradition that, after the kids complete the course successfully, they have an opportunity to sign up for a trip. So we just got back in June from a trip. It was absolutely fantastic. I'm always so proud of our kids because they study very hard and they know a lot of things by the time they get there, more than the average high school students. And sometimes I've been asked, how do you get your kids to dress so nice and know so much about what they're looking at and what they love to fight. So they go to one of them. So we're looking at another trip next year.
How many students are you hoping for?
This last time we had a group of 15, we had 2 moms that went with it. I've had as large as 36, so it all depends on how many students sign up and how many parents want to talk to.
Try to do some fundraising for the trip to kind of keep the costs down?
Yeah, we used a lot of fundraising last year. We usually used to do a humanities stand, but that doesn't happen anymore. Work at a concession stand. It's kind of interesting. Students aren't as interested in raising money anymore. They'd rather have their parents pay for it or have a job outside of school and pay for that way. And like how much it costs.
So how much does it cost and who pays for that actually? Does the school pay for that?
The trip?
Right.
Oh, heavens no.
Oh, okay. I know there's been some rumors, I mean, far be it for any rumors to be out in the community, but.
Yeah.
That's where, I was gonna announce that before we voted, that, because sometimes the way things are reported, it's very conflicting in the paper at times that, yes, this is 100% paid for by the students and their families, the school does not fund this.
Yes, absolutely. I looked at what the original cost was back in 2008, and it was like $3,800. It's up to about $51 right now, so $5,100. Part of the reason why as expensive as it is because we do a custom tour, and that means that the tour is based on what we teach in class. So I have very specific things that we want to see because we've studied.
Sure.
I know it's a great opportunity. My daughter had a class, so I think that's.
And there's a lot of alumni that are in their 40s and 50s that have done this trip that how are you
Thank you for your willingness to go and take the kids.
You're welcome.
Thanks. Providing a great opportunity for our kids. Any other questions? Any other questions or concerns? Not, I will look for a motion to approve the humanities trip to Italy for the June of 2027.
I'll make a motion.
I'll give it to Jody.
I'll
Jody.
second that.
Jolyn on the second. Any other discussion? All in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Consideration to approve the resolution to amend and restate the Mid-America Administrative and Retirement Solution Health Reimbursement Arrangement. Josh? Sure.
There's multiple. It's for the contractors that have access to the HRA plan. It is no cost to the district option that allows for the vested interest in the HRA to self-direct their funds that they have. If you're not invested yet, you won't be able to move those funds, but by doing this, it allows someone who is in that option to be able to have more flexibility in how they designate their funds. Again, no cost to the district. There's a board share or portion that moves to the HRA. That's the one-time cost of the district that's out of our hands. But what allows someone who does have this interest to self-direct dollars.
Any questions for Josh on that? If not, I would look for a motion to approve. Luke on the motion,
I'll second.
Pete on the second. Any other discussion? That's right. Take her away, Claire, whenever you have a chance.
Yeah, we're on that. Voting. Whereas Independent School District 252 has established and adopted the Mid-American Administration and Retirement Solutions of Health reimbursement arrangement for the benefits of its eligible employees and their dependents. Whereas a section of the plan entitled Plan Amendments reserves the right of the employer to amend the plan at any time and in full or in part as long as participants are notified and any amendment does not adversely affect the rights of existing participants and to make changes imposed by the Internal Revenue Service without notice to participants. Am I looking for a yes or no vote on these?
Yes.
So I will take a yes or no from Pete.
Yes.
Myself is yes. Luke?
Yes.
Clinton?
Yes.
Rondi? Yes. Jody? Yes.
All right, number 3, consideration to update policy 707, transportation of public school students.
This basically, the change in our MSBA 707 policy basically is to state that we will follow and go along with the GCED policy when it comes to transporting students to care and treatment facilities. We have the right to set the distance or the amount of travel that we send kids to, and GCED is looking at changing the policy to 60 miles total. In years past, if parents requested that we could, or that they wanted to take their child to care and treatment in Duluth, then we had to transport them daily. And so it sets a boundary around how much the school districts, and especially the ones within GCED, would be sending those children out. So it's basically 60 miles from this facility here in a circle is where we would go. And there's probably 2 or 3 different options within that circle. Obviously, if you go down to Lake City, who's also a part of GCED, those options may change a little bit. They're still 60 miles. And if the policy changes at GCED for whatever reason, whether it needs to shrink or whether it enlarges a little bit, then it would affect all 6 districts. And so really that's the only change is to our policy by saying that we are following the GCED money for that part here.
60 miles one way.
Yep,
Daily, potentially?
could be. Yep, drop off and pick up.
All right, any other questions for Jeff on that? If not, I would look for a motion to approve, to update the policy 707, transportation of public school students.
I'll make a motion.
Jolene on the motion.
I'll second.
Jody on the second. Any other discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. All right, that will do it for today. One thing I wanted to add is we are going to have one more public presentation for the levy. That was not originally planned. We are going to have one on the night of the 28th, 6 o'clock. And we will be providing childcare as well for any families that would like to come. So, other than that, there's nothing anyone else has to add. I will look for a motion to adjourn.
I'll make the motion to adjourn.
Luke on the motion.
I'll second.
Rondi on the second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed?